Hey, how's it going, Wizards? Welcome back to a brand new podcast episode. I'm here with...
Adrian Lamar Smith.
I think that's the new tradition, is having everybody say their full name. Adrian Lamar Smith, good friend, good guy.
Hi,
Adrian.
guys.
Oh. That from Adrian's fame. And today we're just going to be doing a little talking. We filmed this months ago, and actually a couple minutes ago as well.
Yeah, like 10
We've tried. This is the third time. I told you you'd have a third podcast.
time's a charm.
I really have been wanting to do the podcasting again, but I just didn't like the way it was turning out. And now we have some questions to talk about, some things to ask, some topics of discussion to kind of throw back and forth to keep the conversations rolling.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and do that.
All right.
And just want to let you know before we start, you are free to ask or say anything you want, no matter how
Daunting.
daunting it is. Yeah. If I have to cut it out, I will. But whatever it is, I want to dig deep. I want to really get to...
I know what to
Yeah,
ask you.
yeah.
I got it.
What do you want to get out of memories?
Memories.
Yeah, how do you feel about memories? How do you feel? Something I've been thinking about a lot lately is just like how memories work and how they're different for everybody. So what do you like to get out of memories?
So some people, I feel like they try and just get the quote-unquote best memories possible. I don't know what that means or what that would mean to anyone else, but for me, as long as whatever memory it is holds value, whether I learned something or it makes me feel good or it makes me feel bad, but as long as it holds some reason that I remember it for. But yeah, I just mostly just want to experience things and learn what life has to offer when it comes to memories. There's a video that I was watching, and it basically said that when we die, we don't have really anything left besides our memories. And the Egyptians tried to carry everything with them, literally everything.
Their possessions, yeah,
right.
Their physical earthly possessions.
And we don't have any evidence if that actually worked or not, theoretically. But.
We don't, no. We just found a bunch of stuff buried with them, and they were like, we should loot this and put it in a museum.
But they can't loot memories, I don't think.
I don't know. That's like a Black Mirror episode. Yeah, I think that, like, yeah, if remembering, like, tumultuous things is important, like, be it good or bad. Anything that was, like...
word. I'm so sorry I had to say that.
It is a big word. And anything that holds significance, be it good or bad, if it's, I guess, like, a formative memory.
Right.
And then there's just little things that you can't really change what you remember. Like, you can't really say, I'm going to remember this, but I think people tend to just solidify things based on the way their brains work and how they process. I think it's important to remember, like, anything that has an emotion tied to it.
Yeah.
I think that's how I like what I want to get out of memories is like the emotion that I felt. So like if it was an angry moment, I want to feel that anger. I want to remember like how that felt because that's important. Because like memories are very much if you don't remember the emotion and like the feeling, it takes away the human aspect, and it's basically just like
almost the value of it.
Yeah, because it's like just watching a movie. Like I remember the plot of Terminator. It's like, oh, well, then that's my memory because I was in it. Well, if I didn't experience it and I don't remember what it was like to be running away from Robot Man, Mr. Arnold, then I didn't live it. So it's the same kind of thing. It feels more like a fictional story if I don't have like an emotional tie to it. Kind of going along with that is like with videos. I always feel like there's a video that I should be making. Like there's some magnum opus of mine like that I should be making. And when I watch back my other videos, like that was a good video. But it's vapid content, a lot of it. It's just like, oh, I'm being funny. But, like, there's not anything... I can do more. And I always feel like I'm not living up to that. And the thing is, there is no age that, like, I'll know. Or there's no point where I'll know what that is the weird thing, I don't think. Like, some of the greatest works, like, in literature have been written, and the authors didn't really think of it as their best work at the time. Because you don't have anything to measure it against, and you don't have, like, your whole life's work. So I don't think, unfortunately, I'll know that until I'm, like, done making stuff.
Like,
which is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Another thing I thought we could do on this, I think it'd be interesting, it's a new thing I think I'm going to start on this series.
Ooh.
You're here for you're here in its infancy, the premiere of this segment. I'm going to go through and read some of the thoughts I had in my notepad, some late night thoughts that I've come up with, that I wrote down that I thought would be interesting. Stuff that I'm probably not going to use for anything else, that just kind of like are just floating around. Right. So we're going to discuss them, we're going to see what you think, I'm going to see what you think. Talk back and forth.
It's kind of like stream of consciousness, except for not writing it down. It's just...
Exactly, we're recording it, so it's even easier. We don't even have to write it down.
Wow.
This is like us uploading our consciousness to the internet.
Our thoughts?
This is like us putting our thoughts online. First one, does it ever scare you that you remember nothing, or is it consolation enough that you felt something in that moment and learned a new emotion? So it's kind of like going along with what we were first talking about. My sister, yeah, she takes lots of pictures, and I mean, she's a photographer, which that's. But the reason that she does is so she can remember things better. Like she'll just take things of this month, like just normal things throughout her day to remember just like what day-to-day life is. And I think that's the thing people forget is like what life is like boring parts of your life. Because like you remember like a wedding you went to or like a high school basketball game that was really fun. But like just normal day-to-day stuff you tend to kind of forget.
It's almost routine. It almost becomes
just it all blends
subconscious
together. Yeah, it's like it's just kind of there like in the background. Yeah. So that's why I like recording stuff so much and like just taking like videos I don't even use for YouTube or like just pictures and stuff. That's why I like Snapchat memories. Is like
I don't take much of those. I need to start doing it.
That's why I started doing this year. It's like I save everything. I used to just post it and then it was done. But like now everything that I take on Snapchat pretty much I save so that I can like go back.
And it's weird because I don't know, for a long time I kind of hated like how everyone would like take their phone out and like take pictures and videos, because it's almost like I was the type of person who will do it in the moment, or not. Don't do it in the moment, but do it like after. Remember the moment.
Yeah.
But I'll be the person to not have any pictures. For like instance, Higgins, I have maybe about 2 pictures because I got them from other people.
Right.
And other people like are taking a bunch of pictures.
Yeah. I
remember it vividly, but I don't have the material in the future to remember it.
Right.
And I feel like I need to start doing that more. And it's funny because that's exactly what we're talking about. So. Yeah.
I view it more as like, because people are saying like live in the moment. I think that pictures and recording everything, especially like on phones and stuff, people have a gripe with for some reason. I view it more as like a tool. It's like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a human, so I don't personally have a photographic memory, but if I did, I would use it. So it's just like a tool that I can use. Why would I not want to remember it? It doesn't take away the experience for me. Some people I think it does, but for me, it's part of the experience is getting to record it and like, yeah, I'm gonna remember this later. And like people record stuff like concerts, and I think that's stupid. Like that's something you should just do and just remember. No one watches concert videos after like you never watch it again. Another one of my notes is why are people? This isn't the exact one. I paraphrase it because the original one was too poetic, but it was too hard to explain.
Oh, peace.
But what I meant by this was why are people more open at night? People are a lot more. Open at night. Like when you're talking to somebody on the phone or whatever, like you're up at a sleepover and you just get into like conversations. It's so much easier to be open with people
really
at
is.
night. And I don't know, like, why do you think that is? What is your theory on why?
Talking to Sydney, it's almost she'd say things that like I would almost have to like force her to say in daytime rather than at night.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, well, this is sleepy me talking," and I don't really understand that. Maybe they're just overtired to where like their logic isn't there, or they don't like second guess what they're gonna say.
The inhibitions are gone. Yeah. Kind of like with drinking, you let down like that guard.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the same person. It's just that you're not focusing on different aspects. For instance, if I say something, am I gonna think that they think I'm weird or judgment or this and that? So I feel like nighttime kind of just it lets that go. Like almost you don't care. I'm the person to do that anyways. Like I'm not gonna say I'm impulsive, but I don't necessarily care about judgment based on what I say.
You always feel like you want to do something like, and then you put it off, and you're like, I'll do that eventually. Like you always, like you want to go to Europe, and you're like, I'll go there eventually. But like at some point, eventually, that doesn't happen. At some point, you're gonna die or become incapacitated, and not be able to for some reason. And not just like traveling, but just things. You're always needing to. Like you're gonna watch this movie that's on Netflix, and then they take it off, and you can't find it anywhere else. And it's just so interesting how like so many things in our life exist in that like space that is eventually, and most of the time eventually doesn't happen. And it's weird because you're so sure in that moment that you're gonna do it, just not today.
Dang.
You'll do it next week. Never happens.
It's almost like people. It's almost like they think they have this time, but Muhammad Ali just kind of discussed about how much time you actually have. I think it was like 17 years in your life where you actually have time to do something or be productive or go outside or whatever.
What is your favorite video of mine, and then your favorite video that we filmed together as a group, or together, you and I specifically, whatever.
Okay.
And then like a justification for it.
Favorite video. Oh yeah, it's definitely Nightmares. I forgot you just posted that one.
The one I just posted.
Yeah.
That's your favorite video.
Yep. First of all, the format is
Do you think it's unique? I don't know how much stuff you watch because I watch a lot of stuff and I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I think it's unique. I think because like how I said, the first of all the pictures being well a still picture, but or was it moving still or still move whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. There's no video in the whole thing. It's all pictures.
Yeah.
That makes.
Yeah, all the exit signs. You had like different pictures, but they're the same thing. So you had like the fires, you had the abandoned houses, you had roads. They were all like images that had the same aesthetic, but they're just different.
Do you know how hard that was to find all of them?
Probably, yeah.
It took 6 months.
It was very.
It's
I
so
thought
hard to
about
find
it.
high quality images that fit the same aesthetic with a theme that makes sense with the song.
Yeah, and the song itself just gives a vibe. All of it, but all of it together was. That's my favorite.
I appreciate.
I think also the anticipation too.
Yeah, the
plays a
anticipation
part.
definitely helped. And then your favorite video we made together.
Keyframe number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Keyframe number 1, man.
Yeah.
I remember Keyframe.
Remember Keyframe.
Let's talk about Keyframe. That'll be the end. That's a good end.
Okay.
Let's talk. Hey, let's have a chat about Keyframe.
What's Keyframe?
The Keyframe podcast.
What is that?
Okay, yeah. So for those of you that don't know what the Keyframe is, because I don't even know if it's on my channel anymore. It's probably, I think they're all privated right now. Keyframe was a show that we started in our freshman year, so 4 years ago.
Holy
when I first
crap.
started doing video stuff, and like it was just like a little web series type deal. We called it a TV show, but it was a web series, and it was basically just supposed to follow this group of friends. And the thing that was interesting about Keyframe for me personally is like, and I've talked about this before, but I find really interesting, is it was fictional, but a lot of it was very much us. It was our friend group. It was kind of what I wanted us to be, and we worked in a lot of plot points, or I tried to, that I felt like fit like things that were going on.
You actually made us like had a piece of paper and you're like, write what you want your character to be.
Yeah.
And write your own traits you want to add in.
And then Jadil wanted being a baker somehow, so I don't know. Inadvertently, we did capture us because I remember all the stuff that got edited out. I remember all the shoots of us laughing in between takes and like what it really was like. So even though it's fictitious and we're playing characters, it's just us when I watch it. I could not remake it with anybody else like to be better, because that is Keyframe is our friend group.
It is.
From that time. It's just like a time capsule of those years, and that's all it will ever be. One of my favorite things to do for videos, and just in general, is I feel like people are very set in their ways about what is acceptable. Mm-hmm. So like me breaking glass in my room, nobody would do that.
No.
Most people would do that because it's not that funny, but like it's just so taboo to do something like that because like, oh, there's glass on the floor, you might cut your foot, and like and then I just leave it there, which isn't even part of the video, but like I still have broken glass all over my floor from the last time I did it.
That's probably the reason why I wouldn't do something like that. It wouldn't be the fact that like,
but like people would be scared. It's like, well, the worst thing happens, I'm gonna get a piece of glass in my foot. But like it makes for something that's so out of the realm of what somebody would do. Mm-hmm. It's just commonplace enough to be realistic and not like just a weird, like fictitious thing.
Right.
But like it's also kind of like, oh, I wouldn't do that personally, but it's fun to watch somebody else do it. I think it's the same kind of deal with like lighting fires, or
pouring
like,
milk on yourself.
Pouring milk on yourself. Things that are just like nobody would do that because then you're gonna smell like milk. Well, I did smell like milk, but it was a funny video, and when I watched it, I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Right.
But like I like that feeling of like watching something or getting hit with my car. Most people, nobody would do that for a video.
No.
Okay, so this was fun. Thank you for coming onto the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Anything you want to plug? Anything else you want to say? Any messages?
Any messages? Just be kind to one another. I feel like
I don't like you. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, that was a good. Thanks for filming that. I'm gonna go edit that sometime.
Alright, I love you guys.
I love you,
Mikhail.
Oh. I don't like you.
I have a ring for you.
I hate you.